Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Law Lounge with Silva, and oh my gosh, P. Diddy. Well, this goes to show you that you never know what a jury will do, and I wanted to explain the verdict. You know, here's the issue. Sean P. Diddy Combs was found guilty of 2 counts of essentially the Mann Act, which is illegal transportation of prostitution. And they believe this happened with Cassie and the Jane Doe, the second victim in the case. They believed that the purpose of the prostitutes that he brought in was for sexual acts with his 2 ex-girlfriends. And this is a sure shot, 100%. He should have been found guilty of these 2 acts. Mind you, these 2 charges don't carry a minimum maximum sentence. In other words, it's not life in prison. In fact, prosecutors are now asking that P. Diddy be sentenced about five years, which is a huge win considering he was facing life. P. Diddy was also found not guilty of the RICO charges as well as the sex trafficking charges of Cassie and Jane Doe. Now, here's the issue. The RICO charges, that shows that P. Diddy was part of a criminal enterprise for his sexual proclivities. It was a reach for the prosecutors to want this, and I'm surprised because prosecutors win 90%, over 97% to be precise, of federal trials. But this did seem like an overreach to ask for RICO charges for one individual where there didn't seem to be satisfactory evidence that it was an actual criminal enterprise that included his corporation. The acts that I'm actually really surprised are that the charges of sex trafficking were found to be not guilty. Now, I will say this. I think what also the jury kept in their mind about the sex trafficking charges and why he got the not guilty is Cassie and Jane Doe. These were long relationships where there was evidence of text messages saying, oh, I can't wait for the next freak off. Oh, I love you so much. They never truly completely broke away from P. Diddy. And I think what the jury probably thought is that they were active participants in this. So the ruling and the judgments are really interesting to me when it comes to the not guilty verdicts and the guilty verdicts of the jury. What is clear is P. Diddy will do, if any time, very little, up to 5 years. I think the judge might end up giving him about 2.5 years in federal prison, if that. And he really did beat the worst charges. But at the end of the day, the issue is we were all kind of fed a bill of goods about P. Diddy's freak-offs. We all thought that these were massive parties with massive amounts of victims and prostitutes. But it turned out from the testimony that these were smaller parties, maybe 5 to 6 participants at most. And where were all the other victims of these sex parties? The prosecution was unable to produce this, and essentially P. Diddy got off. So I'd love to hear your opinions on it. It's a confusing day when a jury comes back so mixed. But at the end of the day, P. Diddy escaped a life sentence in federal prison. Would love to hear your thoughts, everyone. Take care.